Candy, love and life coaching delivered straight up like your best friend would if she were a licensed and certified mental wellness professional. If you don't know me yet, I'm Candace Harper, relationship coach and hypnotherapist, and I'm here to support you with feeling epic, enough, peaceful, illuminated, and courageous in every area of your life, but particularly your love life, whether you're single or not. I'm also here to teach all of us how to vibe high and manifest the sweetest possible love in this lifetime. I'm here to teach you how to ask for candy and to get it. If you've got something to say about what you hear, email me your comments and questions, askforcandypodcast@gmail.com. You can also follow me on Instagram and TikTok @CandyLoveCoach. Also, make sure you hit the subscribe on whatever platform you're listening to. Leave a review so I can shout you out. And share with the friends and family that you know will benefit from this spoonful of sugar. Now let's get started. Hello, my sweet baby love darlings. So today is going to be a really special episode, and I just wanted to come in and let you know the sound quality is not fantastic because I brought on Joe Frank. I brought Joe Frank back to guest, and we were driving in the car on the way back from a road trip, and we will talk all about it, tell you all about it. Just listen up and listen in. Just don't worry about the sound quality. Just listen to what we're saying, because we'll drop some nuggets. And if you hear anything you like, you want to respond to, you can always email me, Candace@CandaceHarperLoveCoach.com. I love you. Listen in. Hey everybody, it is the Valentine's special, the Valentine's show. And of course, I had to bring back my own very special Valentine to join me for the podcast. So I brought a guest. Once again, the very wonderful Joe Frank.
Hi people, hey, how you doing? Joe Frank is here. Happy Valentine's Day to all the listeners.
Right, all the listeners, all the lovers.
Thank you for sharing.
Yeah.
Right? We're doing a road trip this Valentine's.
We are. We're on a road trip, and it's an interesting road trip because it wasn't necessarily designated as a Valentine's road trip, but it's our first Valentine's together, right? And so, here's the thing about it. Like, normally you think you're starting a new love relationship, you get to take a Valentine's trip. It's, going to a bed and breakfast, pick apples, have sex, eat breakfasts, and get to know each other. Well, our Valentine's trip actually ended up being going to bury my mother, who, God rest her soul, passed away a couple weeks ago. And we are actually on the road back from Tennessee, back from the funeral, on our way headed back to Virginia. And we're not going to actually get to spend Valentine's Day itself together, right?
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
Because, we adulting, Joe Frank has to work, and, he took some time off so we could do this trip. But I have to tell you something, Joe.
What?
Even though we're not going to get to spend Valentine's together, and even though we didn't take some, fabulous trip or anything like that, I have to honestly tell you, and I'm going to try not to be emotional about it, you have made it the best Valentine's Day that I've ever had in my whole life.
Thank you. You always have the nicest words to say, so I'm not surprised that you said that.
No.
But yeah, that made me feel really good.
Yeah.
Even though we will be on the Face Talk Valentine's Day.
We will, absolutely.
Like we do every day that we're apart, so it won't be that bad.
It won't be bad at all, because, here's the thing. Even if, let's say, God forbid, we weren't able to do a video, which I know we're going to be able to do a video call, but even if we weren't, like, to me, this weekend and the way you showed up for me and supported me is like, that's pure love right there.
Well, I was there when you got the call that your mom died, so,
yeah.
And I knew that I had to be there for you because I don't know if everybody knows, my dad just died last month.
Yeah.
Last month. And,
2 months, in December, right?
Yeah,
December.
okay.
Yeah.
And I didn't have to ask you but one time, and you were there for me and didn't ask me for anything.
Yeah.
So, especially if you were driving down to Chattanooga, Tennessee, I couldn't let you take that drive alone. So I made up in my mind that I was going with you.
Yeah. Aww. I mean, these are the kinds of things I think, like, as you're getting to know someone and getting closer, and, you know, as the days, the weeks, the months, the years go by, it's like how you show up for each other, right? That kind of like, I don't know, it sort of pushes forward, or maybe seals the bond. I don't want to say seals because I feel like that's so like finite, but like it pushes it forward, right? It makes you like,
seals is a good
word. I can use that.
Seals is a good. Like
locks you down.
Yeah, lock me down. No, I did some locking down.
Yeah, you just want to lock it down.
No, I did some locking down.
You did some locking.
Yeah, maybe. I did some locking down.
You did.
Yeah.
So you got to spend time with my family.
Yeah, I met John Wayne. I met John Wayne. I call her Dad John Wayne.
Yeah.
Every time, you know, she did the slideshow for her mother's funeral, and you did an excellent job on the programs.
Thank you, man.
Yeah, you did an excellent job. But that slideshow really took the cake. And all of your pictures of your mom and dad, your dad has just
the smirk
on his face, like, I don't know what we doing all this for, man. Will you hurry up and take the picture, man? Jesus Christ, man. I don't know what's going on around here, but God damn, another picture? Gee, how many pictures we got to take today? It's the third picture. On every picture, he has this smirk on his face. So
he does, yeah.
He has adopted the name John Wayne.
And you do a pretty good impression of him, like a younger him.
Right. He doesn't know he's John Wayne.
He doesn't know it.
He's the official black John Wayne.
He is. But yeah, so you got to meet him, which, by the way, for officially meeting face to face, you're only the second significant other that I've ever taken home to my family. So actually, I could say you're probably the only the second significant other. Okay. No offense to anybody else I've dated.
Offense. Okay, all right.
But yeah, because I don't take people home. I keep all that very close to the vest, and you know, you really got to go through a gauntlet to be able to meet my family.
It's crazy because my last name is Stokes, and your mom's maiden name is Stokes.
Yes, we're not related, people. We have to make sure people know that we're not related.
Okay.
We just
Even if we were, we would no. But you know, and I met a lot of the original Stokeses.
You did.
It was interesting. I met your sisters, two beautiful sisters. And very different characters. Everybody has their own personality.
Right. Out of the three of us.
Yeah, your older sister is the ideal oldest sister.
She is
like the boss. She takes charge.
Right.
You know,
she knows all the things. Even when she says that she doesn't know what to do, she always figures she knows what to do.
Right. Her husband is the ideal Army general. Literally, he's the Army general.
Yeah, and he's a big brother as well. So they're like two oldest
Wow,
siblings.
I didn't know that.
That's why they just run things. They just run shit.
Wow.
Because they're two oldest siblings, and they always figure it out. They work together as a team, and he doesn't sit down for 5 seconds. So he gets a million things done, and she knows how to point her fingers and tell whoever to do whatever.
I started to ask what vitamins do he take. I'm sure he's like 6 or 7 years older than me.
Yeah.
Probably more than that, but
super energetic.
He's never sitting down. His mind is always thinking and on the job.
Yeah.
So they make a good couple. And your youngest sister is she's the youngest sister.
She's the younger sister.
She's the youngest sister.
She's the baby.
She's the baby, and she's a beautiful woman as well. And her husband Johnny,
he's a good
Big
guy.
Johnny, he's just an all around good, wholesome type of country boy type of fella.
Yes, absolutely.
So I had a really good time. And your dad, and your cousins, and so forth.
Yeah.
I had a really good time.
And all my nephews, 6 nephews, right?
Oh my God, and all the nephews, yeah.
Right?
It's like a tribe. It's like I went deep in Tennessee and went to an Indian tribe.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, and I met everybody, and I had a good time. It was my first time in Tennessee.
Yeah.
Yep, first time in Tennessee. Yeah. Right outside Atlanta. I didn't know that.
Oh yeah, very good. It's only an hour and a half from Atlanta.
Yeah.
But yeah, Joe, I think it was a good vibe. I love how you sort of like fit in with my family. My brother-in-law Johnny, you guys got like some quality time, so you guys totally hit it off. I love that.
Right.
Yeah, and it's interesting because we talk about how I think when you were on the last time, we talked about how we met and how we reconnected, and we just so happened to arrive in the DMV around the same time. And my whole point of coming to this area was to develop, my family bonds and to reconnect and to just be closer to my family after all that quarantining and COVID and stuff. And like, I don't know, honey, you fit right into all of it, like so comfortably.
Well, yeah, I felt comfortable, and I didn't have an attitude where as though I was looking for somebody not to like me. I just had the attitude, well, it's all family.
Yeah.
And I believe once you have that attitude, you're pretty much setting yourself up to be successful.
Yeah.
If you're looking for happiness and looking for love, I think you'll find it.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's one big good experience. And that hotel was really nice. I don't know what the name of it was. But
It was called Sinesta Select. Yeah, it was a very nice hotel. Yeah. But I don't want to skip over something that you're pointing out that I think is so valuable. Because a lot of people out there, especially around this, this Valentine season, it's like as you are in these burgeoning relationships, or, if you're someone who's single and you're looking to be in a relationship, what Joe just said is really valuable information about what you're looking for and what you're expecting and how you go into situations. Because so much of it is about, I always talk about core value alignment, lifestyle alignment, things like that. And I think family can factor in a big way. It doesn't mean that you have to have a perfect family. It doesn't mean that you have to, make sure that all of your family bonds are perfect before you can have a relationship. It just means that whoever you join with, you want to know that they are somebody who they can gel with whatever your family situation is, that there is alignment as far as that's concerned. So a lot of people out there, and I was one of these people, had a lot of contentious relationships with family for a long time, like in my adulthood. And I also had a story that, because of that I couldn't have somebody nice. Like I wasn't going to find a love in my life that was going to be a good love in my life. One thing I learned over this weekend, Joe, is that to let go of the idea that anything has to be perfect or that your situation has to be perfect before you find love is the way to sort of open yourself up and be ready for the positive, like you're talking about.
I agree. I also believe that, and it just really hit me, when people say you first have to love yourself and be comfortable with yourself before finding someone else.
Yeah.
It hit me because in order for me to socialize with your family and cousins, nephews, and nieces and so forth, I really had to be comfortable with myself.
Yeah.
And just let it flow.
Yeah.
And just not try to put on a front, not try to act
just
like something I'm not. Just be me and just let it all out.
Yeah.
And when I did that, people accepted me for who I am.
Yeah, right?
Yeah, so that's a beautiful thing.
Because we all have our failings, we all have our strengths, we all have our, and it's just about being able to be you. And I think that's a good litmus for whether you're with the right person.
Right.
Because you want to be able to be yourself with that person, and then also with the people that are in that person's life.
Right, absolutely.
Right?
Absolutely.
Not saying that everybody's going to like you. You might have a couple people in, your significant other's families that maybe you don't get along with or whatever, but that is a big factor. Like, can you just be yourself around these people?
Yeah, I feel as though if you can't be yourself with the person who you're interested in or dating, it really means that you guys are not fusing. You guys are not vibing together on the same page or whatever.
Yeah.
And a good thing that I like to put into the perspective is the fact that people around you who know you should catch the vibe that, you know what, she's the right person for him. And he's the right person for her.
Yeah.
Especially your loved ones.
Yeah.
So, like, for example, if you're dating somebody and, my grandmother would say, Something about that girl. Oh, she ain't a good woman. Or stay away from them fast tail girls or something, you know.
She'd be your gatekeeper.
Right. I had a good friend. If my grandmother was alive today, she'd be like, I like Candy. She's a good woman.
You think that's what she's
saying? Yeah, she's a good woman.
Aww.
Yes, indeed. The Lord blessed you, boy. So, you know, you got to find somebody who you can be yourself with.
Yeah.
And open up.
I love that you said that because there was a few people that said, like, stuff to both of us about, like, oh, next time it's going to be y'all's wedding or whatever. That's what
really?
Wilma said. Yeah,
okay.
That's what she said when she walked away from us. And then people, like, you know, making their side comments and stuff like that about seeing us together in the future.
Right.
You know, which I thought that was, like you're saying, like, that's a very good sign.
That's nice.
Right? The people that care about you, they're not that they have to co-sign it, because, you know, everybody, I always tell you, you got to be who you are even when people don't get it.
Right, but it's good to get a little reassurance every now and then.
Yeah.
Especially the people that you love who've been around all your life, and you know for a fact that they want the best things for you.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely, honey.
Yeah.
That's exciting stuff.
It's a topic that we're going to talk about, I guess, because we're not going to be together for Valentine's Day, so that means that we are not necessarily doing the traditional exchanging of gifts.
Right, chocolates and all that.
Right.
Yeah, well, you know how I am with sugar. Always trying not to eat it. So, and I have to say, like I said, literally, and I'm not, you know, being hyperbolic or anything like that. This is the best Valentine's because I would have to say that this is probably the first Valentine's in my life. And I was in a 13-year relationship. But this is the first Valentine's in my life where there was like this high value of love and feeling loved. And that's what it was about.
Uh-huh.
And not about, you know, oh, this is Valentine's Day, so let's go get gifts and take a trip.
Right.
Like we actually, you know, what do they say? That if you're in a new relationship, the best thing you can do is take a trip together.
I didn't know that, but okay.
Yeah, that's what, you know, what some dating advice people give that. They say, you know, take a trip together because then you get to really see who that person is. And I have to say, I don't necessarily obviously recommend a funeral trip. But, I mean, what more challenging kind of trip can you be taking than, you know, having lost a parent and, you know, be going through those spaces and have somebody with you who can stand for you.
Right, I agree.
Yeah, and make it...
We were supposed to leave a little bit early.
We totally were.
Right. We had a nice night out on the town last night. And,
we did.
You know, I had a drink.
With family.
Right. Absolutely, with her sister and her kids and her sister's husband and so forth.
Yeah.
And I had a drink and you had a drink. Which
I had
was
a big old drink.
A big old drink, which is rare, you know, since you're not a drinker.
Yeah.
And we had a nice night out and we took it back to the room. Stayed up a little late and woke up a little later off the planes.
Like 3 hours, babe.
It was that much?
It was 3 hours because I had set the clock for like 3:30.
Wow.
And got up at 6 because, you know, we got to get back to Virginia, bring the car back. I know.
I'm kind of glad that alarm didn't go off at 3:30. Wow.
Are you?
Yeah, because there's no way in the world I would have got up for that.
No.
Yeah, but that sleepover, you know, because you can't put a price on important family quality time.
Yeah.
You know, and I believe that was, you hadn't seen your sister in so long, and you hadn't, you know, shared a night like that. When was the last time you had a night like that out with your sister and your nephews? And,
yeah.
I mean, tell me, when was the last time?
It's been a minute. I mean, I have to say, and you know, most of them, the last time I was with them, weren't of age to be out, right?
Drinking and so forth.
Yeah. Now we only have, our babies are now like older teenagers, and we only have 2 of them left.
Right.
Everybody else is over 21, so to be able to sit around with my adult nephews and my sister and my brother-in-law and you, and
priceless.
Price? You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right.
Right. So that time that, you know, we missed on our way back was actually quality time. So we wouldn't trade it for anything in the world.
That's true. I mean, I think the reason, I'll say this, for who's listening, like Joe, the reason Joe's pointing this out, because he knows that I woke up shaming myself, like mad at myself for having had a drink, because I don't drink very often, because I honestly do believe when I drink I fuck up, and I don't mean that like blackout, I'm an alcoholic or anything like that, but it, I'll often have the next day of recovery, I can't get stuff done, and you guys who listen, me, like I always want to be involved in something, getting something done, teaching a new workshop, doing a facilitation, writing a curriculum, and so when I drink, it kind of fogs that. But I did have a moment this morning where I was like making myself wrong for having a drink, and baby, I love the way that you broke that down, because it made me feel so much better, because you were absolutely right. Like, to take the pause and just say, you know what?
Right. Everything's not so serious, really.
It's not so serious. You don't bury your mother every day.
Right.
And then to be able to have that time with each other, with my family, and, just talk and even laugh about it and lighten up some of the sadness and the heaviness.
Absolutely. I agree.
Yeah.
Right. So, back to the topic. Let's see if we can...
about Valentine's Day?
About Valentine's Day. Is gift giving essential?
Is gift giving essential?
Is gift giving a must on Valentine's Day? So
I love that question, because it also begs my interest in for you, because I think different people have different paradigms, especially when it comes to men. A lot of men have a thing about Valentine's Day where it's like that every day should be Valentine's Day. Doesn't necessarily mean they're being Valentine's Day every day. Not, it's not like they're buying gifts every day, but I always feel like that's sort of the cop-out to get out of having to buy any gifts. And some men are like, oh yeah, I do it out of duty just because it's Valentine's Day. And I don't want to genderize, because I think women have their issues around Valentine's Day as well.
Right.
But when you ask that question, is gift giving important around Valentine's Day? Do you want me to answer first, or do you want to answer?
It doesn't matter. I'll say this. I'm going to say, first I'm going to explain a certain mentality. If you have a mentality that I'm thinking that we are in right now, where we're trying to save some money, we're trying to build a brand, we're trying to explore a new lifestyle. Well, not necessarily, I guess a new lifestyle, you know. And we have plans. I believe you can skip the gifts if
you have plans.
If you have plans, I guess, and do something small.
Yeah.
Because the gift comes from the heart. It's supposed to come from the heart anyway.
Yeah.
So, you can do anything, buy a card or have a glass of wine over dinner or something. Something small. It doesn't have to, be a diamond watch or necklace or anything, or maybe a box of chocolates or something small. So, I guess to some degree, a gift is essential. What do you think?
I think
it's a tough one.
Well, I think you're right. I think you're on the right track as far as, because when you're aligned with each other and you have plans, right? That's the value thing. That's the valuable part of it. That's where the love actually is. And I think, it really has to be on a very individual basis as far as what your dynamic is as a couple. Because we are of that understanding, and I'm not somebody who's like receiving gifts is not my love language. I don't mind it. I don't mind a piece of jewelry. I don't mind, treats and stuff like that, or, whatever. But to me, and I feel like to you, there's more value in what we're building and making sure to stay focused on that.
Right.
And I say all of that with a little bit of a grain of salt, because I don't want you to start thinking that every Valentine's Day we can just blow it off.
Right. Next Valentine's Day, baby, we got plans.
Right?
You know how we did last year.
Hopefully,
right.
Without the funeral part.
Right.
But I do think it is important, for anybody who's starting a new relationship or, looking for something in a partner. I think that it's about being real honest about what works for you when it comes to that.
Right.
and also having an understanding of why you want what you want.
Right. Plus, it's more or less a feeling.
Yeah.
Right. If you feel as though you need to buy a gift, 99% of the time, you need to buy a gift.
You probably need to buy a gift.
You know where you're at in your relationship right now. So,
yeah.
If I don't get a gift, it's going to be trouble.
Yeah.
So you don't want no trouble. So go ahead and get a gift.
And also, too, I mean, I think, too, like, if you're not in a relationship, that feeling bad because you're not getting a gift, like, you want to keep that in perspective. Because there's a lot of people out there who are getting gifts, but they're not getting love.
Wow.
Right?
Wow, yeah.
There's a lot of people out there who are getting very extravagant gifts.
Right. They're not getting love.
But they're not getting love.
It's still, it's not filling that space.
Yeah, and it can't. Right? It doesn't.
Right.
Even if getting gifts is your love language, or you feel like it's how you feel loved, it's like, ultimately, love is so much more than that. So, that's just a demonstration, and demonstration is easy. Acting is easy, right? But actually aligning and coming through, that's a whole different. That's a whole different ballgame.
Right. I believe my gift is that right now.
Aligning and coming through.
I believe my gift is finding this woman that I can say, you know what? This is a gift by itself.
Yeah.
Finding her. Yep. This trip was a gift for me.
That was your Valentine's gift for me?
Yeah. No, I mean,
finding me?
Right.
Oh, you gave yourself the Valentine's gift of finding me.
Yeah. I don't know how that works. How that works, but I feel good about it.
Well, yeah, and like I said, I feel like my Valentine's gift was just the way you showed up for me.
Well, see.
And yeah.
See? So we are, so
right.
Yeah, so that was a gift.
Right.
So I guess
But I always think it's important to reiterate, though, you really got to be in tune with what it is that you want for yourself, so that you can align individually as a couple, like what works for you as a couple. And I think, because of the culture we live in, there's so much pressure. I gotta get a gift. I gotta get something. And so I feel like to alleviate that pressure, just know that what's more important is that you are on that path to unconditionality when it comes to love, whether by yourself or with somebody else. Right? And whatever shows that, sometimes it does show up as a gift, but sometimes it shows up as a, standing for you, holding you when you cry, saying words of support.
Right. And I'm going to be honest with you. I feel for people who don't have anyone to share Valentine's Day with. But because I've shared it with no one for so many years.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. We were going to talk about that. Valentine's Day single for you and for me.
It's not a good feeling. Talk about it. It's not really a good feeling,
Yeah.
You try not to dwell on it because it's only one day out of the year. But it's a day where you really say to yourself, "Damn, what's the holdup?
Yeah.
When am I going to find somebody that I can say, you know what? This is love. This love."
Do you have a worst Valentine's Day where you were just like I'm down and out?
I'm sure I did.
Yeah.
But I can't recall it. But if I was to say a worst one would be just one being single by yourself. And dwelling on it.
Yeah.
It's crazy because I'm sure the clubs are full on Valentine's Day.
Yeah, the clubs.
The clubs, right? I'm sure everybody's looking for love.
Yeah, like out there looking for love.
Right, that's right. The most single time that the clubs are filled with single people looking for a date that night.
I think, I try to look back and remember different Valentine's Days single. I mean, I had the ones that were most recent. So in these past few years, I haven't been in a relationship until I met you. So I think about those Valentine's Days, and I have to say, because of what I do, I had to just rally, right? So I could get it. It would creep into my mind it's Valentine's Day and you're single. It sucks. But because I set myself up as the love coach and was still going to have to do the Valentine's show and still, preaching this love is everywhere and you have to generate the love and all of that stuff, I found myself rallying. And I think there's nothing wrong with that. Like, there's nothing wrong with, just finding it. Like, let me find where I can generate loving feelings, how I can celebrate it in a way that's not necessarily romantic. I may not be having sex with anybody, but I can still generate love for the people that I care about, right?
Right.
So that, I wouldn't necessarily take those Valentine's Days back, because I think that they've been a big part of my growth and evolution into being someone who can be happy in a relationship, because, that's what these last few years have been about. But when I think about when I was asleep when it came to love and feeling like I needed to have somebody in order to be whole, Valentine's Days were hell. Like, I hated them so much.
Really?
Yeah, especially like if I wasn't, the times when I wasn't dating anybody at all and I felt like I really wanted to be in a relationship, and this was before my last major relationship. I just had this mentality that, like, something was wrong with me, that I wasn't in a relationship. Something was wrong with other people. I had all these sort of negative paradigms and beliefs. I have a lot of listeners, some of which have been clients who have talked about, because they haven't had enough relationship experience, they feel bad about themselves, because, some of us have gotten to a certain age and maybe we haven't been married or haven't had a lot of long-term relationships. Some people say it's because they have too much, but it's that inner sort of wrong-making, that something's wrong with singlehood, that I think destroys Valentine's Day on when you're single.
Right. I mean, yeah, it's a rough one. You try not to go off the deep end.
Yeah.
And just start walking into the mall and stabbing teddy bears and stuff like that.
Have you done that? Have you stabbed teddy bears?
And busting everybody balloons and shit like that. With like scope, with BB guns with scopes on them and stuff like that. No, I never.
Taking out people's balloons.
Yeah, you can't. You try not to take it to that extreme, but
yeah.
It's all right to feel sad on Valentine's Day. There's nothing wrong with it.
Yeah.
We're all human. And,
as long as you don't make it about something wrong with you. I think it's okay to feel sad and it's okay to feel a longing. But what's important and what I teach clients is always go back to, am I making this feeling mean something's wrong or missing within me? Because that is the paradox of the healing, right? When I can get to a point where my emotions are my emotions and what I'm experiencing is what I'm experiencing, but am I making it mean that there's something inherently wrong with me? Because sometimes we don't know the difference between I did something bad or I am bad, or something bad is happening or I am bad. And I am bad, or I am not lovable, or I am not relationship ready,
right.
Can be a very disempowering story and keep us out of a relationship.
Okay, so I'm going to ask you a question since you are the love coach.
Yeah.
Does that exist? Can there be something wrong with you?
Well, I don't like the paradigm of right and wrong, and I'll tell you why.
And I don't want to cut you off, but I want to put this in.
Yeah.
Because I asked that because, like I said in the beginning, first you have to get comfortable with and love yourself.
Yes.
Before you find someone else that you want to align with.
Yeah.
You have to align with yourself.
Yes.
And if we're all, I don't know how to word it, but if we're all aligned, we wouldn't have to get in line.
Yeah.
So the process of getting yourself in line, does that mean that you're out of whack or something's wrong with you?
Well, I love that question, because out of alignment doesn't mean wrong, because we do what we know to do at the time. Out of alignment is a great lead into alignment.
So would you say
right?
Out of alignment means I need adjusting?
No.
I don't know. I'm trying to figure it
No,
out.
I wouldn't say out of alignment means I need adjusting. I wouldn't use adjusting as the metaphor, because I often talk about, I don't believe in fixing, adjusting, things being broken. So if I'm not aligned, it just means that I haven't tapped into who I am, and also put my words and actions to align with who I know myself to be. So if I'm out there saying there's something wrong with me, or I'm shaming myself, I feel guilty about something, I feel like I'm not good enough, and that's why I don't have what I want, like all of that is out of alignment, because that means I'm out of touch with who I really am, and I'm not walking in the walk of, this is who I am.
Okay.
And when we talked about it before, I don't know if you and I talked about it, but I've definitely talked about on the podcast why it's so important to understand what is important to us, our core values, right? So if I say love, compassion, even romance is something that is a core value of mine. Those are things that indicate who I am on a big level. And so if I'm going to align with those things, I can't align with those things and then be complaining that those things don't exist. I have to generate them. Even if there's not someone else there I have to be unconditional about it, right?
All right. So, So I'm trying to really get the understanding of this. Are we saying that if you're out of alignment, do you need to pick up something, or is there something in you that needs adjusting, or is it something new that you need to learn?
Yeah.
I don't know. If I'm out of line,
out of alignment.
If I'm out of alignment.
Because out of line sounds like that's a wrong making, right? Like that's out of line.
Out of line, right? Okay. If I'm out of alignment, am I looking for something to get me in alignment, or what do I need to do within myself to get aligned?
Yeah. Oh, that's a beautiful question, Joe.
Oh, yeah.
Getting aligned is understanding that you don't need anything outside of yourself to be aligned. It's all generated from within. Now, that doesn't mean that obviously there's things that we do need to survive from outside of ourselves, right?
And things that we need to learn, maybe.
Yeah, and things that we need to learn.
But I can understand if it's things that I need to learn, first I have to be open to it.
You have to be open to it. And sometimes there is outside information that comes in that says, okay, I got to understand, like the way I just was saying, you got to know your core values and know what they are and all of that stuff. Like that's information that maybe somebody out there's never heard before. So yeah, they have to be willing to take that in.
Right.
But what will have you in alignment is an openness to saying, I don't need anything outside of myself. All I need to do is generate what's important to me. And everything that aligns with that will magnetize towards me. And I got to have faith in that, right?
Okay.
If I'm willing to generate love, that is what I'm going to magnetize, is love. Right? I got to be exactly what it is that I want. Right. Manifestation.
So it's safe to say that a person who is not aligned is more or less a closed fist.
Well,
because they're not accepting any new information, and they're not growing, and they're not, I guess, being aligned.
I think it's like more on a scale, like a spectrum, right? So I don't necessarily think that because someone's out of alignment that they are a closed fist. There are a lot of people who are a closed fist, and being a closed fist will have you out of alignment, definitely. But there are some people who are on their journey of getting aligned with themselves, getting to know themselves, getting to understand themselves, and they may be open, but they might be in a place in their journey where they're just not quite there yet. Do you know what I mean? And I don't think when I say there, I feel like that's life's journey. So I don't know that there's anybody who is like arrived,
right, of course,
unless you made your transition.
Of course.
But as long as we're walking this earth, we're on a journey of constantly, aligning, recalibrating, getting back into who we are.
Right, because you're changing and you're more or less evolving.
Growing. Yes, you're evolving, you're growing.
Right.
Unexpected things come up where you're like, okay, so now I got to figure out how to navigate around this and stay in alignment.
Right. So it's safe to say that a person who is on the pathway to alignment is an open hand. He's accepting new information.
Yeah.
He knows that in order to get to the next level, he has to learn new things and adapt to them and keep adapting.
Yeah.
Because I believe that's the power of resilience.
To keep adapting.
Right, to keep adapting. You don't necessarily have to have a fall to be resilient.
Yeah.
You could be the most successful person in the world And if you're learning new things that you never learned before, you're resilient because you're adapting to the situation and you're overcoming it. Because a new situation to someone who's over 50 can be very intimidating.
Yeah.
You know, like you're talking to your dad, and your dad asked me, am I electronically inclined? And I said, well, I didn't really want to say I'm probably more electronically inclined than you are because you're,
but not,
because you're an
right.
older man. Right. I didn't want to say that, so I tried. So I said I'm a little bit more advanced than I could be, I guess. I didn't know what to say at that point.
You kind of dug yourself in a little bit.
And he kind of caught on. He was like, "Oh, I see what you're saying." That since and I said since computers were around when I was younger, I was able to pick up some things.
Yeah. You stepped around that a little bit.
Right. And you said, okay, I understand. Because computers weren't around when I was young.
Yeah.
And, our minds are like sponges when we're younger.
Yeah.
So I was
my nephews are like
wizards. Right. Like the kids nowadays, everybody said, these kids nowadays are so smart, they can pick up a phone and
start playing games
and do whatever and figure it out. Yeah, because this is not really something new, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah.
To their minds.
Yeah.
This is what is happening now.
Yeah. And
kids are going to adapt to whatever situation they're put in, and they're going to grow from it because they're curious.
Yeah.
And they're going to figure it out, so stay curious, I guess, right?
Yeah. And I like the metaphor that you used about the open hand, because I think no matter where you are, like just going through life with an open hand, it does actually allow for the things that you need. Right. It does allow for the learning, the knowledge, the wisdom, the aha moments,
and also when you hold on to things, it just causes stress in your life, I feel.
Yeah.
So you really just have to not take it so personal. And I had to learn that because coming from the inner city of Baltimore, Maryland, everybody took something personal. You stepped on my shoes, you talked to my girl,
you're ready to fight.
You made a joke about my mother, anything, you're ready to fight, But as I learned, or as I observed people who are more successful in life, they don't take as much shit as I took personal.
Yeah.
Take everything with a grain of salt and keep it moving, because at the end of the day, you're saying to yourself, if I took this personal, it would hold me back from making my next achievement or me meeting my next goal.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And it holds us out of alignment with ourselves.
Right. So you always have to be looking at a bigger picture. And in order to look at the bigger picture, you really have to have an open hand. My mom used to say, she sent me to the store one day, and I ran out the back alley to cut through the street, and she looked out the door, and I was still in the back alley. And she waited till I came back from the store, and she said, "What took you so long to get out the alley?"
Yeah.
I said, "Because I was scared all the dogs were barking, and I was trying not to get bit." And she said, "Well, you can't stop for every dog that barks, or you'll never make it out the alley."
Yeah. Oh, wow.
And that metaphor, well, when she said it didn't appear to be a metaphor.
Yeah. You just said like you were a kid, so.
Right, I was just a kid. But one day it hit me. It said, you can't stop for every dog that barks, or you'll never make it out the alley.
Yeah. Oh, I love that.
And it hit me like, damn, that was very profound.
That should be a chapter in your book.
Wow, yeah. That's a good idea. Yeah.
You can't stop for every dog that barks. You'll never make it out the alley.
Yeah, so I kind of stuck with that philosophy in life.
Yeah.
You really just gotta keep it moving because a lot of people can't see the big picture.
Yeah.
Especially when the big picture is in your mind.
Yeah. No, it's true.
So you have to take everything with a grain of salt and keep it moving.
Yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely. Now, how do we get on that? What brought us to that?
I don't know.
But it's good. I mean, I do think it's good wisdom.
Right, because we were talking about Valentine's Day and
right,
being sure of yourself. And if you want to be find a partner, you have to be aligned with who you are first.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
So we were talking about how to align yourself properly to find a love in your life.
The journey of love.
Right.
And you pointed to another good thing when you were talking about not taking it personally, because the 4 agreements, which I talk about a lot on the podcast, that's a great way to find alignment with yourself. Right? To just begin practicing them.
Absolutely.
As much as you can without, making yourself wrong if you don't get it right and trying to do it perfectly, just as much as you can. Right. Practice that. What is it? Be impeccable with your word. Don't take anything personally. Always do your best and don't make assumptions.
Wow.
Just those 4 things right there, that's a good way to be practicing self-alignment.
Right. I agree.
Yeah. And like I said, I do believe like self-alignment does make for a much more evolving, satisfying Valentine's Day. Much more so than a lot of people, and this is specifically for my single people, much more so than a lot of people who are in relationships and out of alignment. Because when I was in my last relationship, I talk about it all the time, very abusive. We were both 2 people very much out of alignment, but having Valentine's Days with flowers and chocolates and trips. Right?
Nothing.
Right, exactly.
Right.
But very unhappy, right?
I posted a picture on my Facebook of us.
You did?
Yeah, and the quote over top of the picture said, "When you get right, you don't have to look for it; it will find you."
Ooh.
Yeah.
I love that, honey.
Yeah, and I believe that because
But what you're basically saying is when you get in alignment.
When you get in alignment, you become a magnet. And what you want, you will attract. It will find you.
Yeah.
You'll find yourself in a situation where you say to yourself, gee, I was just thinking about this.
Yeah.
Well, this is really where I need to be right now.
Here's the important question, though. Did I look pretty in the picture?
Oh. I wouldn't have posted it unless
I look pretty.
Right, but,
that's the most important.
Absolutely flawless.
Baby. Oh my gosh, we're already at 45. I feel like this hour goes by so fast.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, shit, okay.
Yeah. So I think that's a good basic takeaway. Our takeaways for the people, if we were just to sum it up, because we want everybody to have a really good Valentine's Day. And I don't mean to brag, but I wouldn't trade this Valentine's Day for the world. And let me just hit back on, talking about burying my mother. My mother who was, we eulogized her, me and my sisters, and I think that we all did it in a really beautiful way in our own particular special ways. And it's hard sometimes for people to be with the idea that you've lost your mother. And what I love is all the condolences and the messages of love and support. And I think that's very important. But I will say, for anybody who's listening, who's feeling like, she lost her mother, the blessing in all of it is that my mother was sick for a long time. She had dementia for at least, I want to say, a decade before she passed away. And she was suffering physically in a way that for a woman who my uncle called her lion-hearted and strong and amazing as she was in how she could achieve in her life, it wasn't a way that she would have chosen to live. And so the blessing in all of it is that my mom is released of a lot of physical suffering. She's out of her earthly human suit that was, no longer supporting her soul. And I keep saying this, but I really feel it to be true, is that I feel her presence now more than I probably ever have. Because those of you who listen know that when I was younger, we had a lot of contention. And even though we'd healed a lot of that, with the dementia, it's like, you don't know how emotionally connected you really are with a person when they're dealing with an illness like that. So one thing I do know is that she's always loved me. I've always loved her. And I have such a peace about it. Just for anybody who's worried or, feels like, Candace is going through something, I'm in a very, very peaceful place. I'm allowing the tears to flow when they need to flow. And I have my Joe, who's been so supportive, and my family has been amazing. So I just want to put that out there for everybody, because I know I don't want anybody to think that we're just skipping over the fact that my mom passed like it was an unimportant thing. But the takeaway, I think, around Valentine's Day is, you know, if you're single out there, or if you're in a relationship where you're not happy and you feel like this is not going to be a good Valentine's Day for you, what I would encourage and invite people to do is look for self-alignment. Just allow yourself to be with how you feel about it. It's okay if you feel sad. It's okay if you feel like you wish you were having a romantic time. That's all fine, and it's human, and it's reasonable. But if there's something within you that says there's something missing, be willing to love on yourself a little bit. Be willing to do some self-nurturing and think about what's really important to you and some ways that you can generate that. Even if the person you're with doesn't know how, or even if you're with no one. If compassion is a core value of yours, what are some ways you can generate compassion for Valentine's Day? For yourself, for others, for anybody? Because the way we feel emotions is by generating them. The way we feel love is by being love, by being our core values. What do you think, Joe Frank? What do you want them to take away?
I believe once you get yourself in line, smile.
I love it.
Be open, don't think, don't get cocky.
Yeah.
Don't get cocky, don't get arrogant. Just be confident.
Yeah.
And a confident person who smiles is like an open hand.
Yeah. Oh, I love that.
I believe that's very important, because people find themselves and then they think, I don't want to say think too highly of themselves, but they get this attitude of nobody else is worthy of them now.
Yeah.
And then they're still alone, and they end up repeating the same cycle.
Yeah.
So,
I get what you're saying.
smile. Somebody comes up to you, say something to you nice, say thank you.
Yeah.
Leave yourself open to find someone.
Well, I like that. Like let people be kind and flirtatious and be friendly and polite and generated. I like that a lot.
Yeah. And that's pretty much it.
That's
just
important.
Take that with you. Keep moving.
Yay! Yeah. Oh, honey bunny, thank you for being on the show again.
Yeah, you're welcome, baby.
We do have our show coming up, everybody. Did we tell the title last time? I don't think we told the title.
Sweet Love.
The Sweet Love Podcast is coming up, so you guys can go on the journey of our relationship with us. Ask for Candy is going to stay Ask for Candy, but Joe Frank and I are going to have our own sort of show. We're working on it. It's coming out soon. We're going to give you a date very soon. And yeah, just this Valentine's Day, know that I love you. Joe Frank, do you love the people?
I love the people.
Joe Frank loves you.
People.
Yeah, and just be and generate exactly what you want. Smile, like Joe Frank said. And that's it, everybody.
So long. Love you.
Right, until
Happy Valentine's Day.
Happy Valentine's Day. Until next time, never forget that you are a love machine. If you ever start to feel like you are not getting the love you need, just make more and ask for Candy. I love you so much. Mwah, mwah, mwah.